welcome to Kettlebell Yoga. My name is Adrienne, and this is going to be a 30-minute or so class that incorporates kettlebells into our yoga practice to build a little extra strength. So the things that you're going to need for practice today are 2 kettlebells. I have a lighter weight one, which is 10 pounds, and a heavier weight one, which is 20 pounds. The lighter weight one is going to be for our overhead presses. The heavier one is going to be for things like deadlifts and squats. So if you only have one or the other, then just know you might be able to sub like a lighter weight dumbbell if you don't have a lighter weight kettlebell, and just do the overhead presses with a dumbbell, a lightweight one instead of a kettlebell. If you only have a lightweight one, then you'll just maybe add a few more repetitions to the squats or the deadlifts that we're doing to get to that point of fatigue. I hope that makes sense. You can also sub dumbbells for this entire practice. If all you have is dumbbells and no kettlebells, you can use dumbbells instead. You'll just be holding the dumbbell a little bit differently than you would hold a kettlebell. And you can also do this class with absolutely no weights and just go through the movements. Still going to be really great for your mobility. You're just not going to have that external load, but you're still going to be building strength and increasing your mobility. So the only other thing that you might want for practice is a blanket or a towel or some sort of cushion for your knees. We are going to be in a kneeling position. And right now I'm sitting on a yoga block that's underneath my booty because I'm in this sort of kneeling modified hero's pose position. So this is how we're going to start class. So feel free to pause this video, go grab whatever you need, towel, kettlebell, weights, yoga block, anything that's going to make your practice comfortable, and then meet me back here when you're ready. When you are ready, we'll get started in this kneeling position. So your legs are tucked underneath you. I have the block between my feet so that my sit bones are on the block. You can also use a pillow here or something like that. And we'll just take a moment to check in with ourselves before we start moving. So sit up nice and tall, and when you feel ready, close your eyes. And take a few rounds of breath, observing your breath as it travels in and out of your body. Allow some of the thoughts in your mind to grow quieter as your awareness focuses on your body and your breath. Before we begin moving, invite a sense of strength into your body and your being. Broaden the shoulders, sit up a little taller, lifting through the crown of your head. Feel powerful, capable, strong. Take a deep breath and breathe those qualities in. And as you exhale, breathe out and soften. A couple more just like that. Breathe in strength. And as you exhale, soften into your strength. One more. When you feel ready, open your eyes, let the light come in. And we're going to do just a few stretches to get our bodies warmed up before we grab our weights. Take your left hand off to the left side, reach your right arm up, stretch and reach through your fingers, and then lean over to your left. Ground down through your right hip, roll the right shoulder open, but pull your navel in and your front ribs down. As you exhale, spin your chest towards the ground, roll your right shoulder down, and then stay here or begin to reach this right arm all the way down and maybe touch the ground. And then lift back up and roll open. We'll do that 2 more times. So rotate down, maybe touch down, and rotate open. 1 more. Nice and slow. Come all the way back up, right hand down, left arm up, spin your palm in, pinky forward, thumb back, reach through your fingers and lean over. You can walk your right hand a little further away from your right hip if you need some extra space. Pull the front ribs together, roll the left shoulder open, reach through the left fingers, and then rotate your left shoulder down, gaze down at the floor, and then maybe tap your left pinky down to the earth. Rotate back up, And we'll do that 2 more times. So rotate down, touch down, rotate up. Good. One more. Good. And come all the way back up. Take your hands to your knees or your thighs, and we'll just do some very slow shoulder rolls. So move the shoulders forward and then up towards your ears. Squeeze your shoulder blades back towards your spine, and then pull your shoulder blades down your back. Roll forward, up, squeeze back, pull down. And notice if you're doing this, especially when you squeeze your shoulder blades back, are you lifting the ribs? Keep the ribs nice and heavy. And just let this be a movement in the shoulder joint. Good, and then let's reverse direction. Good, nice and slow. And release, and just shake out the arms a little bit. Shake out the wrists, get the blood flowing to your hands, your forearms, your fingers. Maybe shake it a little higher and shake it a little lower. Shake it out to the sides. Whew. All right, let's go ahead and come on to our hands and knees for tabletop pose. I'll place my block off to the side. You can still use your blanket for cushion here. And then bring the weight into your left knee. Extend your right leg straight back behind you with your toes on the floor. Roll your right hip down, draw your belly in, and then press your heel towards the floor. Press down into your hands and spread the weight out into all 10 finger pads. Breathe into your right calf, right hamstring. And then shift forward, shoulders stack back over the wrists. Press the mat away through the hands. And then lift your right leg up. Bend your knee, open up your hip. Bring your right heel towards your glutes. Keep your navel drawing in. And then just bend and straighten the knee a few times, or it might feel good to circle the knee, circle the hip. If you choose the circles, then reverse direction. Maybe roll your ankle and your foot a few times. And let's switch sides. Right knee down, extend your left leg back, toes on the floor, roll the left hip down. Press into the hands to send your heel towards the floor until you feel a stretch through the left calf. Breathe here. And keep your head lifted in line with the spine. And then shift forward, shoulders stack back over wrists. Lift your left leg, engage your core. Bend your knee and then open up your left knee to the sky. Bring your left heel towards your glutes. Pause here just for a moment. Feel that opening through the front of the hip. And then maybe bend and straighten the knee. Do some circles if you did so on the other side. And if you do your circles, reverse direction. And again, maybe roll the ankle a few times. And come all the way back down. All right, come up onto the balls of your hands. So lift the heels and the thumbs of your hands off the floor. Just stretch your hands a little bit. And then slowly bring the heels of your hands down, and we'll do that a few more times. So lift up and come down. And lift up and come down. Good, one more. And come back through center. So you can either take a child's pose, or I'm going to cue you into down dog. Walk your hands forward. Take your hands nice and wide, wider than your shoulders. Straighten your legs and lift your hips up and back. And just a little note here that I am still recovering from a broken left foot. So I can't put the weight on the ball of my left foot. So that's why my left leg is tucked behind my right here. But both of your feet are going to be on the floor, hip width distance apart. Bend your knees, press down into your hands, and send your chest towards your thighs. Shake your head yes and no. Maybe sway your hips a little from side to side. And then press the mat away through your hands. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Bend your knees, look forward, and then step forward, forward fold at the front of your mat, pour it out. Bend your knees quite a lot. Shift your knees and your hips back. and relax your head and neck. Big breath in, big breath out. Press down into your feet, bend your knees a little bit more. Press the mat away with your feet as you inhale, come all the way up, reach your arms to the sky. Good, exhale, hands together at heart center. And take a moment just to feel yourself standing. Spread the weight out into all four corners of your feet. Press down through the feet to lift up through the top of your head. Deep breath in. Exhale, release your hands. All right, we're gonna grab our lightweight kettlebell and do just a little bit of a warm up. We are gonna use our blanket in a little, but I'm gonna place that off to the side. All right, grab your kettlebell in your right hand, pull the right shoulder back, and pull up on the kettlebell without lifting it. Feel a sort of line of tension pull up. Press down into your feet. Slowly start to let the kettlebell slide down the outside of your right leg towards the floor. Keep the belly engaged. Once you can't go any further, you're gonna draw the left shoulder down, round forward, keep the knees slightly bent. Grab a hold of the kettlebell with your left hand, bring it out to the left side, and then roll on up, sliding it up the outer left leg. We're gonna do that a few times as a warm up. So drop to the left, bring it all the way around, grab onto the kettlebell with your right hand, and all the way up. All the while we're doing this, make sure you have strong shoulders. So keep that, whatever hand is holding the kettlebell, keep that shoulder plugged back into the socket. You can think about plugging the humerus bone, which is that upper arm bone, back into the shoulder joint. Good, and let's do one more round here. Press into the feet really strong. And relax. Go ahead and place your kettlebell, your light kettlebell down. And from here, we're gonna come into a kneeling position. So find your Tadasana. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, press your hips back, come all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Take your hands to your shins, pull your shoulders back. And then exhale, forward fold. Take your hands down, step back, plank pose. Pause in your plank, press the mat away through your hands. And you always have the option here to take your knees down. You can be more in a tabletop pose. You can be in a knees down plank, or you can lift the knees. Lift your head in line with your spine. Press into all four corners of the press into all four corners of the mat. Hug your belly in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Set your knees down. And we're going to come into our kneeling position. So if you want to grab your blanket as a little bit of cushion. Let me scoot this back just a little. All right, so grab your lighter weight kettlebell. We're going to come onto our knees. Knees are about pelvis width distance apart. Take the kettlebell into your right hand. So hold the kettlebell on your right side. Turn your palm forward and then curl, bicep curl. Bring your kettlebell in towards your chest. Keep the elbow hugging in, keep your right shoulder back. And then before we do this into the lunge, let's practice it just here on the knees. You're gonna rotate the hand and the elbow out and then press up. So the palm is facing forward, look up at your wrist, make sure the wrist is straight. So you don't want the wrist leaning back. Press up through the knuckles of your hand and then pull the elbow back in, keeping it outside, and then rotate it back to your chest. Let's try it on the other side. So palm forward, bicep curl, bring the kettlebell to your chest, rotate the elbow open, shoulder open, and then press up. Keeping that wrist joint straight, extend through the top knuckles here of your hand, and then keep the elbow outside, bring the elbow down and around back to your chest, and then uncurl. So we're gonna be uniting that movement with a lunge. So when you're ready, you're gonna bring the kettlebell is in your right hand, do your bicep curl, bring your kettlebell to your chest, shift the weight into your left knee, and see if you can step your right foot forward. And for those of you that are a little bit less stable, Have a block off to the side here, and you can grab onto the, or you can put your fingers on the block and then step your right foot forward. So that helps a little with your balance. If you don't have a block, you can use a small stool or a stack of books. All right, from your lunge, pull your right hip back, press down into the sole of your right foot like you want to push the mat away. Start to lean forward, lean your hips forward, and then take your left hand down to the outside of your mat. So your fingers are going to turn out towards the side. Then rotate your chest open and do your press up. And then draw your elbow back in, keeping the elbow out. Bring your kettlebell back to your chest and rise up. Bend into the right knee. Take your left hand down with control. Spin open, press up. Back to center. And keep moving. We've got 2 more. Nice, slow, controlled movement here. So we're not just falling onto the floor when we come down. You want to take it nice and slow. Plant your hand down with control and press up. All right, that was the last one for this round. Shift the weight into your left knee and then step your right leg back. Let's do the other side. Kettlebell in the left hand, bicep curl. Shift the weight into your right knee and step your left foot forward. Left knee stacks over left ankle. Press the mat away with your left foot. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Slowly bend into your left knee. Take your right hand down. Twist the ribs, engage your core, and then press up. Hug your elbow back in, back to chest. Come back up. Bend into the knee. Place your hand down. Rotate up. And back. Bend, twist, press, and back through center. Good. Last one. And come all the way back up. And shift the weight back into your right knee. Step back. All right, from here, we're going to turn to one side of our mat. And we're going to hold the kettlebell in a flipped position. So I'm holding on to the outsides of the kettlebell handle. Kettlebell is flipped up in towards my chest. Draw your shoulders back. Hold it nice and tight to your chest. Pull the ribs down. Shift the weight into your left knee. And you're going to step your right foot out to the side. So your hips are opened to the side of your mat, and you can play with where your right foot is. So it might feel better in some people's knees or hips to not have your right foot straight out. You can have your right foot a little walked over to the left side. This is going to be a little less intense for the hips. And then if you're all the way opened up, this is going to be a little bit more hip opening and strengthening. Press down into your right foot and then externally rotate your right thigh. So you want to feel the top of your right thigh, press back and then under, like this rotation under. Keep that, press down into your left knee and then bend into your right knee. Press into your right foot, come back. Bend and press. If you have any pain in your knee, walk your foot a little bit further this way. We're going to do about 10 of these or so. So again, nice, slow, controlled movement. We're not just throwing ourselves back and forth. Let's do one more. And come back through center. From here, take the kettlebell into your right hand in your curl position. Take your left hand to your left thigh. Start to press your hips back behind you. Sit your booty back, bending at the groin crease here. Slowly slide your left hand down your left thigh. Take your left hand out in front of you. Twist, rotate, and press up. Come all the way back. Squeeze your booty as you come up. Good, we're gonna do 5 more. So press back, slide down, lift up. Squeeze. We've got 3 more. Good, last one. Make sure your wrist is still straight when you're doing those presses. Good. All right, we're gonna switch. So I'm just gonna move my blanket this way. Kettlebell now in the flipped position at your chest. Bring the weight into your right knee and step your left leg out to the side. So again, play around with where your left foot is. You can walk it a little bit forward so you're not quite as open through the hips. Find that external rotation in the left thigh. Top of your thigh curls back and under. Press down into your right foot, or press down into your right knee. Hug your belly in, and then bend into your left knee. Press the mat away as you come up. Bend, press, bend, press. Good. Keeping that engagement through the foot. And remember, you don't have to look like me. You don't have to go too far. If your knees bug you here, you can only go to where the knee stacks over the ankle. If you've got healthier knees, you can go a little bit further. Good, let's do one more. Good. All right, kettlebell in the left hand in your curl position, right hand to your right thigh. Press your booty back behind you. Sit back, lean forward with your chest. Slide your right hand down, take your right hand out in front of you. Twist, press. Come back and lift up. Good, sit back, take your hand down, twist and press. 5 more. Or I'm sorry, 4 more. 3 more. Wrist is straight. Take your time as you come on down. Squeeze your booty as you come up. Last one. Nice job. All right, come all the way back through center. Take your kettlebell off to the side. Make your way into a downward facing dog. And take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Bend your knees, look forward and step forward. Uttanasana, forward fold at the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. All right, go ahead and take your blanket off of your mat if you're using any cushion, and we're gonna move into the heavier weight portion. So we're gonna be doing a few deadlifts and some goddess squats. So again, if you don't have a heavier weight, and then you might just wanna do a few more repetitions. And I'm gonna show this forward and to the side. So you want your feet nice and wide, a little bit wider than your hips. And your toes, you can play around with how your toes feel. Everybody's hips are different, so everybody's squat is a little different. You can turn your toes slightly out. That feels best for me when I squat. You can play around with having them straight forward. Just make sure that your squat feels comfortable and you're not creating any knee pain. To set this up, you want the kettlebell directly in between your feet, not out in front of you. You want it directly between your feet. That's gonna make us sit back, hinge back, and have a little bit better form. So with here, let me change my kettlebell. So find your squat position and press your hips back first. So just that alone is going to cause a little bit of hip flexion here. Draw your ribs down and then keep your hands at your hips for this first one. Start to press your booty back and then bend at your knees and slowly sit back. Keep the knees stacked over the ankles and press your feet into the mat. So if you have tighter hips or hamstrings, then you might have to elevate your kettlebell. So you can put your kettlebell on a block, and that way you don't have to come so low into your squat. So just know that if you were already like, oh, geez, I can't get down there, then elevate your kettlebell a little bit and that'll help out, okay? All right, let's do it. Press your hips back, bend your knees, sit back, sit low, grab onto your kettlebell. So I'm in the, my hands are just gripping like this. You're gonna pull the shoulders back, find the tension through the shoulders, and then press up, squeeze your hips, keep the shoulders back, keep the ribs down. Send your hips back, bend, slide down. Press up, lift and squeeze. Back and down, lift. that was 3. We're gonna do about 10. Nice, slow, controlled movement. Pressing your hips back, pressing your knees back. Keep the shoulders drawing back too. Nice, strong shoulder joint, shoulder complex. Make sure you're touching the kettlebell between your feet, not out in front of you. Let's do 2 more. Nice job. Whew. All right. So now you're gonna hold your kettlebell in your flipped position. Hug the kettlebell in towards your chest. I wanna block my mic here. Draw the shoulders back, take your feet out nice and wide, turn your toes out, and then bend into your knees. We're in a goddess squat, goddess? I combined the word, goddess squat. So again, you wanna find that external rotation through the thighs and press down into the feet. We're gonna bend and then straighten without straightening the knees all the way. So bend, straighten, bend, straighten. Keep your ribs hugging down. Keep your navel drawing in, and try to keep the shoulders stacked over your hips. And you do not have to go as low as I'm going. You can do just a little one. That's perfectly fine. All right, let's do 4 more. You got it. Keep pressing those knees out. Good. All right, last one. We're gonna bend, little pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten those legs. Oh man. Take your kettlebell down and place it off to the side. All right. So this is only a 30-minute class. So if you want to build a little bit more strength, you can go back to where we started the weightlifting portion and repeat these exercises and go through them as many times as you'd like. If you're ready to cool down, then come to the front of your mat. Take your arms by your side, stand up nice and tall. Reach your arms up as you inhale. Exhale, press your hips back, come all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant your hands down, step back, downward facing dog, and just take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Go ahead and come down onto your knees. Swing your legs to one side, bring your hips to the other, and then scoot yourself forward towards the front of your mat. Reach your arms forward, lift your chest. Exhale, nice and slow, roll down. And take this roll down super, super, super slow. Reach your fingers towards the front of your mat. Maybe pause as you get a little lower. And eventually come all the way down. Hug your knees in towards your chest, give yourself a big squeeze. And then take your feet as wide as your mat, so much wider than your hips, and start to just rock your knees back and forth. And the next time your knees are to the left, let them stay there. You can toe heel your right foot further over towards the right so that your right knee starts pointing towards the front of your mat, just so you get a little deeper stretch through the right hip. And that's optional. You can just leave your leg where it was if that's already plenty of a stretch for you. And breathe into your belly. And then switch sides. Rotate your knees to the right. Toe heel your left foot off to the left side a little more if you want more opening through the left hip. And come back through center. And then reach your arms up overhead. Pull your ribs down towards the floor. So your hands might even lift away from the ground here. Pull your front ribs down, press your back of your rib cage into the floor, and then reach through the fingers. Keep the back of the ribs pressing down. Cactus your elbows out. So bring your elbows out from the outside of the shoulders. Spread your hands nice and wide. We'll just do that a couple times. Reach up and then draw down. Reach up and draw down. Good, and then reach up. This time, let your chest lift, let your back move away from the ground, press your tailbone into the earth, deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale, slide your legs out. And we'll take just a short Shavasana here. If you want a longer one, pause this video, hang out, rest. And if you want to take your short Shavasana, just allow the weight of your body to sink into the floor, relax your belly and all the muscles in your face. When you feel ready, go ahead and slide your feet in, roll to one side, and come all the way up. I'm gonna have a seat on my blanket just to give my hips a little extra cushion. And we'll close just by resting the hands on the knees or the thighs, or you can rest your hands in your lap. And take a moment with the eyes closed or the eyes soft and unfocused. And again, connect to that powerful, strong being that you are. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Thank you so much for joining me for practice. I hope you enjoyed and have a wonderful rest of your day.